These are onions that I planted back in January. I like to trim my onions as they grow to maybe about 3 inches to help the bulb develop a little bit better, and so they won't be falling over all over the place. Then I'm going to harden them off by putting them out on my deck for a few hours at a time, and for up to a week, where they're finally staying overnight out there. And then I'll be ready to plant. All plants need to be hardened off that you grow in the house. It takes about a week to do it, and you gradually expose them to more daylight, more sun. I start off in a shady area just to get the plant ready to be outside. If you take a delicate little plant that you've been growing and stick it right into the ground, it's probably going to die. So they need to be hardened off, and that's where this guy is headed, is out onto the deck. Onions are a cool season plant. I am fine getting them out there as long as they don't freeze at this stage, just because they're delicate. We've been having temperatures from the mid-50s to into the 70s, which is plenty warm for an onion. So that's why I'm starting to harden them off now, and I'll probably get them in the ground next week. These are my brassicas. I've got cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower here. You see the little purple leaves have been a little bit cold outside, but I've been hardening them off and getting them ready to plant as well. Broccolis are cool season plants, so brassicas are cool season plants, so they can take temperatures. These can actually take a little bit of frost without being damaged too much. As I said, with my onions, it's been between the mid-50s to the low 70s here, and so that's perfect to start hardening my plants off. I'm not too worried about my broccoli because they also are a cool season plant. Why am I talking about tomatoes at the end of March? Well, it's because these are Siberia tomatoes, and Siberia is a cold hardy tomato, and usually I get them in about mid-April, but we've been having pretty warm weather, so I started hardening them off. I've got a couple of little ones here that apparently are just late bloomers coming up, so I won't plant those, but I'm going to take these out after they're good and hardened off, and I'm going to plant them next week in some wall of waters. These can take temperatures down to freezing. Of course, tomatoes don't generally start producing fruit until it's consistently 55 degrees at night. But last year I planted mid-April, and I had tomatoes June the 18th, which was much earlier than my other tomatoes. So I've got these outside hardening off now and getting ready to go in the ground next week with some wall of waters.